Tuesday, October 1st, Plainfield ZBA meeting. Please rise for the pledge of allegiance. Pledge of allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We're going to start with roll call from the left.
Audrey Lemieux, Mary Woodruff, secretary.
Steve Walsh.
Christopher Karen.
Roxanne Boise.
Ryan Gray.
And we're going to have to appoint two alternates tonight. Christopher is going to fill in for Wes Hopkins, and Audrey is going to fill in for Catherine. We're going to start with the public hearing. 24-9 ZBA, Jeffrey and Kimberly Smith requesting a variance for a reduction of rear yard setback from 30 feet to 20 feet, reduction of north side yard setback from 30 feet to 8 feet, and reduction of the south side yard setback from 30 feet to 8 feet to allow for construction of a new home on the property located at 33 Solomon Drive, Assessor's Map 1 MP, Block 115A, Lot 7, RA 30 zoning district. Do we have somebody to speak for the applicant?
Yes, good evening. For the record, my name is Greg Law, licensed land surveyor at Killing Engineering Associates for the place of business at 114 Westcott Road in Anderson. I do have some full-size copies that I can distribute to the commission to look at. So the property is located at 33 Salmon Drive. This is on the eastern end of Moosa Pond. It's 0.2 acres in size, and the applicant and owner wishes to replace the existing house with a new house that's on the site. On the map that I have here for the presentation board, we did a survey of the property. I have the existing house highlighted in green on this map that is before you. And then the proposed house is highlighted in pink. That would be put on the property. The existing lot was created in 1948, and it predates zoning. I do have a copy of the. It was called the subdivision map, although no subdivision regulations were in place at the time from 1948. I'm just going to submit this for the record. That shows, I highlighted the lot that was part of that subdivision in 1948. And again, that predates zoning, predates subdivision in the town of Plainfield. Right now, the house is fairly close to the water, which would be the rear lot. It's fairly close to the northern sideline, and also fairly close to the southerly property line. So we are asking for a rear setback to be reduced from 30 to 20 feet, as you read in the thing. Currently, I will note, it's only 4.7 feet, so we'll be making that actually a better condition. We're only 4.7 feet from that rear line. The north side line, we're asking for a reduction from the present setback of 30 feet down to 8 feet, and currently we're at 8.2 feet. And I do have a little bit of play in there. Obviously, I'm not right at 8 feet. There's about a foot of play. That way, we like to do that when we ask for regulations to be modified. The south side setback is going to be from 30 to 8 feet, and presently the existing building and associated deck is 13 feet. So we're not too far off from what was there on the other side. We're pretty much the same. We're making the rear better, and the other one we're getting a little bit closer to. I'm going to read the statement of hardship. This was prepared by attorney Richard Gallagher for Jeffrey and Kimberly Smith for this application. And it says the subject property at 33 Salmon Drive is approximately 9,300 square feet and was created by a 1948 subdivision map prior to the adoption of the Plainfield zoning regulations in 1972 and the town's subdivision regulations adopted in 1971. The house on the property also predates zoning. It was constructed in 1946 according to the assessor's records. The applicant purchased the property in December of 2021. The applicants wish to demolish the existing home and construct a new home. The subject lot is narrow with existing non-conforming rear and side yards. The side yard requirement for the RA 30 zone is 30 feet. However, the lot is only 59.79 feet wide at its widest point, so construction of any improvements on the lot would require a side yard variance. The proposed side yard setback on the north side would be virtually the same as currently exists, 8 feet, instead of the current 8.2 feet. The proposed side yard setback on the south side is also 8 feet. The request for the side yard variance is in harmony with the general purpose and intent of the regulations, as strict application of the regulations would be confiscatory and deprive the property owners of the use of their property. Given this, the literal enforcement of the regulations would result in a significant hardship. The property is located on Moosa Pond, and the house contains boathouse doors accessible from the water. The current house has a very small rear yard, presently at 4.8 feet, and the pier for the corner of the concrete patio in the rear yard sits in the water to accommodate the boathouse area below. The applicant will improve this situation by moving the home away from Moosa Pond and the floodplain, increasing the proposed rear setback to 20 feet. The regulations require a 30-foot rear side yard. However, the topography in the front creates a hardship in trying to conform with the rear yard setback requirements because the driveway from Salmon Drive would be quite steep and the driveway length would not extend enough to reduce the pitch. The current grade for the front yard is approximately 10%, and the town ordinance allows for a maximum grade of 8% for the residential driveway. While there is limited authority for the town selectmen to allow for exceptions to the driveway grade, it is generally acknowledgeable that the creation of a steep driveway creates a risk of injury in winter conditions and potential issues for emergency vehicles such as fire truck or ambulance. The layout on the proposed application would help reduce these risks and eliminate the need to seek for an exception for the maximum driveway grade. The subject property is a pre-existing non-conforming lot, and the adoption of the regulations after this lot was created, as well as the 2015 amendment to the zoning regulations, which increased maximum side yards from 15 to 30 feet for the subject zone, creates an inherent hardship. Since the total width of the lot is under 60 feet, the width of the subject property is not typical for this zone, as the RA 30 zone is a townwide zone, and contemplates a lot size of 30,000 square feet. The narrow width and steepness of the front portion of the lot are unique factors which combine to create a hardship, including accessibility and safety issues. So we do show where the driveway currently is. You can see the grades up here. It is a steep slope to get up to Salmon Drive, and that's what she's talking about in regulation, in the letter. So basically, that's what we're looking back. We're going to be moving the building, the existing building, away from Moosa Pond, getting away from the floodplain, getting away from the waters associated with making a better condition there, staying the same basically on the north side, getting a little bit closer on this side, but just because of our narrow width. And I will turn that back over to the commission. If you have any questions, I'll be glad to answer them.
Anybody have any questions? This is a public hearing. Is there anyone from the public that wants to speak? Do they have any comments or questions?
I'll direct the question to the board. Thank you very much. Kevin Cunningham, 405 Moosa Pond Road. So would you be able to point out where the top of the driveway, is there a flat area that would help out with the parking? Obviously, you spoke about the difficulty.
We have a parking area down here, but up top it's basically a slope for the first 50 feet or 60 feet or so.
As you mentioned, in the wintertime, it would be a little difficult, so.
Correct.
Okay. The other thing is, should have a pump grinder, is that it right there? So it won't be impacted whatsoever?
Correct, yeah, we'll be relocating it for the new one. We do have to relocate it, I believe. Presently, it would be under the, it's underneath the driveway, yeah.
But you're gonna put it,
We're gonna put a new one in.
okay.
Yeah.
Those are the only 2 questions. I have no problem with the application, so I would agree with what they're looking to do.
Step up and state your name.
Good evening, Elaine Sestair, property owner at 3743 Salmon Drive, so just one house between this property and mine. Overall, I reviewed the plan and the hardship, and I think that I have no issues with it either. I think they've designed it well, and I think it will be a good improvement.
Thanks. Could you say your last name again, please?
Sestair, S-I-S-T-A-R-E, 3743.
Thank you. Anybody else from the public with any, okay, the applicant, if you have anything else to say, you can have the last say.
No, again, we're just thank you for your consideration on it, and I think we're all set unless you have questions on it. So.
I have one question. Is this driveway going to remain gravel, or are you paving it, or?
I believe for now it's already gravel, so we're not touching the upper portion. It's proposed as gravel at this point.
You want to make a motion to close the public hearing?
So moved.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No. Okay, we'll call the regular meeting to order. We're going to review the minutes on 9/3. I looked through them, I didn't see anything wrong. I don't know if anybody else looked through them. Make the motion to accept the minutes from 9/3.
Motion
to accept the minutes.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay, one extension, Roxanne, she wasn't here. Roxanne, she wasn't here. Okay, let's see. Do we have any correspondence?
No.
Okay. And then we'll move to unfinished business, which is back to 24-9 ZBA of Jeffrey and Kimberly Smith requesting a variance for a reduction of the rear yard inside yard setback. So, you have any thoughts up here? I know I drove by it myself and it looks like it would fit in perfect with the neighborhood and what they have proposed. I don't think it fit in better than what they have there now. Anybody have any questions or thoughts? It's good.
Sounds good to me.
So, I'm going to make a motion then.
I make a motion to approve the application.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous? Got the hardship? Okay, so that. She got to that. Oh, you got it highlighted? Show the words.
A lot is undersized and the request is consistent with most of the development around, that's a hardship.
Yeah, that's the hardship.
Make a motion to approve of the hardship.
Well, I think we already had a motion, you just had to read the hardship, right? Yeah. I think it's approved. How long do they wait now before anything happens?
There's a 15-day appeal period from the publication date, which should be next Wednesday.
Thanks a lot.
All right, thank you very much.
We don't have anything under other, right?
We actually do.
We do.
The 8 Ashley variance that was denied last month, that has been appealed.
Okay.
If you'd like to schedule for a executive session next month, we can do so, or discuss where that's going.
Okay, do we make a motion to do it?
You can motion to put that on, or we can just put on the agenda if you like.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, we need to do it. Yeah. Do we do it at our regular meeting or before our regular meeting?
No, the regular meeting is fine. It'll take a little bit to get work with you.
Okay. And it gets put on the agenda somewhere?
Yeah, we'll just add it under other, and we'll add executive session.
All that's left is a motion to adjourn.
I move to adjourn. I second it.
Thanks,
Second,
Chris.
Samantha.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Anything?